What's that like when you said you're finding an obscure sample, you build a whole song on top of it,
Yeah.
like you think that it's ready to go, and then all of a sudden you get a call from lawyers or managers or sample clearance people, and they're like, "Yo, this can't get cleared."
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 records on this album weren't cleared. Samples weren't cleared. So like, yeah, it's a bummer. It's frustrating. There's just one sample I just wanted people to hear so bad because the way I just flipped it was so crazy.
Yep.
And it's more like that. It's more just like the creative side doesn't get to fully be shown. I get it too. It's like it's a business. It's a business, so you can't be mad at them for wanting money. Like, I'm not mad if they want money, but if they don't want to clear it, that's kind of it's a bummer. Because I don't mind the amount of times giving a pub. It's not about that for me. It's just really about getting it out there. So, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm gonna keep sampling. You know, I'm not gonna be like deterred from it.
It doesn't deter you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because it's just how I make beats. Like, I just love it. You know, and I don't do it for. Obviously, I do it for, you know, the fans and all that, but I really do it for me because I like to dig and I like to chop up samples. So I'm gonna keep doing it for sure. We just gotta keep fighting and see what happens, because you never know. Sometimes samples, like when we replay the sample or we have to completely switch it out, it gives the song a new vibe, which could be better too.
Right.
So you never know. It also the kind of thing, like, everything happens for a reason. Maybe the sample wasn't supposed to be out there, you know, and at least not now.
It's interesting because I know when Logic posted that, there was some backlash about, you know, oh, well, is he saying that, you know, the original artist shouldn't get paid, or is he saying that?
No,
you know,
it wasn't that. It's just if you put music out there, I think, like J. Cole said it, if you put music out there, I think we should be able to use it. Like, I'm obviously going to pay you and obviously going to give you publishing and a split, but it's like, let's all work together, you know what I mean? Because we're going to have people sample us in 20, 30 years, which I can't wait for. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be super cool about it because I think it's like a process, you know, it's an artistic process, which I think it's getting lost nowadays because of all the politics. But fuck that, I'm trying to keep doing it, you know what I mean? Like, I love it. I don't know what else to say. I just love it. I can't not sample, you know?
Do you find that it's like actual artists who are saying no, or is it usually like an estate who's saying no, or like
it's usually
lawyers who are
it's
saying no?
It's all. It's case to case. It just depends on the art. That's the risk you take by going into it. It's like you're either dealing with the artist, the estate, the lawyers, whoever, you know. So it's a whole thing. This last record, it got to a point where it's like the day before, and it was just like 3 of the samples couldn't get cleared, like literally the day before. So, you know, I was home. A lot of the team was still in Tokyo. I came back to Maryland early, and, you know, I was up at 4 a.m. in the morning because that's the only time Bobby Campbell and Logic were up, and we were making new beats literally due in 10 hours like that day, you know what I mean? So it was crazy, but we got it all done. Lost in Translation is a big one where that's the one I was saying I wanted people to hear that sample, but now people really love that record.
Yep.
And that sample could come out one day eventually. Like, we're still working on it, actually. We're still trying to clear it and figure it out. It's something people should know, like producers should know once they get to that level and they have to start clearing samples. You're gonna have times where it's not gonna work out, and, you know, you can't be discouraged. You just gotta figure out a way to finesse around it.
I love that even though 3 or 4 records on this album didn't get cleared, you're not discouraged from it. Because I could, if I was an artist, I'd be like, man, screw this, I'm not sampling anything ever again.
I know, there's a lot of times where we're just like, fuck it, like, just put it out there, and if we get sued, we get sued.
Right.
And we're like, yeah, let's do it, like, trying to be all, like, you know, badass and shit, but...
And then Def Jam's like,
and then, it's like, it's already in the system and shit, so it's like, you can't even do that. Which, like, I would do it, like, we'll figure it out later if it ever comes down to it, which is probably not the best way, but we just love to put out the music that much.
Right.
We'll do anything to get people to hear it, but, you know, it all happens for a reason.
All right, so the next track you pulled up is Don't Be Afraid to Be Different.
Don't Be Afraid to Be Different, which is a great segue from what we were just talking about with samples. This was one where I was just in the hotel room on tour, just by myself, just off making my beats off the laptop speakers, and was just in a vibe where I was just making some I don't know, like, what do you like to classify? You said like some Public Enemy mixed with like, I remember you said something dope in the studio where you were like,
yeah, I mean, this to me,
it reminded you of it.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like Bomb Squad.
Yeah, some Bomb Squad
like
shit.
old school,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Hank Shockley, like Bomb Squad, like
100%. That's the kind of the vibe I was on, and but the sample was Max and Sam. They're a rap group. I forget where they're from, like early 90s, but it was Max Kellerman from First Take.
And you're a huge NBA guy.
I'm a huge NBA guy. I love First Take. Shout out to Rhetoric who does the intro for First Take. Yeah, Max and Sam, but unfortunately they couldn't clear the sample.
How did you? I mean, that sounds obscure as shit. Like, how did you even find that to begin with?
Well, I was just like, I found out that Max used to rap.
So you're like, I'm gonna dig this up.
I was just looking it up, but then the beat was crazy, and so I'll play what I soloed from the beat, and you can hear it in the on the record too, which we replayed. But this is the.
When did this come out?
Man, like early 90s.
Yo, so Max Kellerman rap.
Max Kellerman, bro, I'm telling you. Like, I don't know what the issue was, like, with the sampling, but, like, so I still fuck with Max.
Somehow.
It didn't get cleared. It's all good. Okay. It didn't get cleared. I'll just make the beat as I was with the samples. Yeah. So, I just remember starting with that, and, like I said, I love vocals, so I just heard the... Like, that reminded me of, like, some Wu-Tang shit to me, too, you know, just the...
It also gives me like Rakim vibes. Too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just super old school. I EQ'd a lot of the bass out of it. So this is just like a normal, it's just a normal Fruity Loops equalizer, and I just took out all the low end. So on the spectrum, this is where all the low end is. So that way I can add my own kicks and snares on top of it without it being cloudy. Because if I don't EQ the bass out, it's already a beat, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not gonna add kicks over a beat.
Right.
So this way I filter it and I pitch it. I think, did I pitch it down or did I keep it the same? Okay, yeah, so I actually did pitch it down 200 semitones, I believe. Yeah, 200. The original was, I'll play the original pitch so you just hear it. And it has like all that bass in it too, so I filtered out all that bass. That's the original pitch of it. And I chopped it up a whole bunch, so. So then it ended up with that. Added some percussion on top. That kind of sped up. So this is the original.
Now this is a very different sound from pretty much anything else on the album.
This is another one where I was just having fun. I wasn't thinking about anything. That's why I say, man, those moments, I remember those moments because it's like a great moment where you're just free.
Right.
And it's like you remember those moments when you're in the studio and you feel like that, you know what I mean? And I was just by myself, and I just felt like having fun, you know? So it is something different that I wouldn't normally do, you know? But you gotta, that's why I say every album I want to do something different that you haven't heard. Like, I don't think I've made a beat like this, you know what I mean? So yeah, I was just literally, I guess that's what traveling does to you too, you know, it makes you cook up different shit than just being at your house the whole day.
It could be easy when you have a lot of success with a certain sound to stay in that lane. Do you ever find yourself like having to like cleanse that palate?
Like, you mean cleanse the palate in terms of like me like going out and like living life, or in terms of music?
Both. I meant specific. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, because like I could go like I have to force myself to go out and live life too. Because like, I mean, you ask all the homies, like they know me. Like I love just staying in, you know, and just I'm a homebody. But when I go out, like, and I'm like at a bar or something, and I hear music and shit, like I get inspired that way too. Where it's like I see a group of people, a lot of people in one room vibing to a song. Like that shit is. I study that shit. Like even when I'm out drinking, like I study that still. So I have to do that. And yeah, going on tour and stuff, it's this kind of same way where you see so many people and they tell you what their favorite stuff is, and you're like, oh damn, like you really like that. So like pushes me to do more stuff, kind of that kind of stuff. So it's all different kinds of factors, you know.
That was the life stuff. In terms of sound stuff,
I think it's kind of innate thing I do have where I always try to not make the same beat all the time. because I don't know, that's just kind of boring to me. So it's something that maybe I was just like born with, but I don't really like wake up or like think about like, all right, I gotta do something different. Like this was like no thinking at all, which is maybe like the shit I love to make, like this raw, like taking like 4 or 5 different samples and putting together. Like that's what DJ Premier used to do, you know what I mean? So like this was just me having fun once again.
Dope.
And it's not a traditional boom bap beat, which is I think my flavor too, whereas I kind of mix a lot of different sounds, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just started off with that raw Max and Sam shit, you know? And I think I was just in that raw vibe, but I didn't want to just make that beat over again. So I did something different. And also I want to say too, shout out to RK who helped me with the bass and the synth parts, which I don't have on here. Because when we're on tour, Bobby Campbell was with me, you know, every step of the way, always. You know, engineering and helping me make beats and stuff. So it was me, Bobby, and RK. And I came with this bass, and then this bass part of the beat, I mean, and then that's when we added the synth stuff on the bus. So I don't have that, but I'll show you everything else. Yes, once I had the sample on this little percussion, I was like, cool. And then we have this other.
Where's that sample from?
That's like from so that's just like some African like sample pack vocal thing.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just took that. I don't know why. I just like I think I just made it hella quick, and I was just going through samples, and I heard that sound. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Sometimes you can't think about it, and so I just took it, chopped it up, and it just sounded cool. I just put it right there, you know what I mean? Yep, just a simple snare. Just a fat kind of snare, nothing on it. I guess I did put a little space on it before it, so it's not directly, like when I place it on the grid, it's not directly like that. It has a little swing on it.
Yep.
So see,
Classic Dilla.
Classic Dilla, you know, I still gotta do it. So, you know, I have that. And then what's
it's also
this?
classic jazz too.
Facts. And then what is this thing? Okay, this is another classic break right here. And this also pitched down too, so I'll speed it up. But classic, you know, It Takes Two.
Yep. It
So
takes two to make a thing go right.
I actually pitched this down like a lot, like 500 semitones, 5 steps. So gives that more grittier, the snare and it's a little grittier. My favorite's the kick though. The kick pattern is so hard. That's like all the rhythm, you know? And I love the tone of this kick. It's just warm and just round, you know what I mean?
Is this another sample of you just kept going through different kicks and found the...
Like that kick to me, it just sounds so good. Cause it has like a little sub on it too, but it's just like nice and warm, and it just fit with the rawness of the break. Like it needed counteract it. With the break is so like vinyl-y and kind of dirty, I couldn't just add another dirty kick on it because it would just be too clouded. So it needed some clean. Like that's why the kick and snare are so clean. You know what I mean? This sounds like a pop beat, right? But then when you add all like the gritty, oh yeah, it's like a little like, I don't even know if that's in the actual song. I might have muted that, but it's kind of cool. Then you add the breaks and stuff to it. And I love the vocal that the break has in it too. It's like a wah wah. Like that shit, like little stuff like that just adds character to the beat. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna find that sound on a synth,
Right.
on a VST. You know what I mean? This is just something very unique. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and that's the classic. Like when the kid comes in, the kids screaming. And then this is another little vocal loop that I programmed.
Thank you.
So it's like all these different vocals, like by itself, are very like, you know, very different, very unique. But once you put them all together, it kind of gives a dope vibe. So I'll put them all together and then play it from the top. And it's like where the bass comes in. So like that's all it is, and then just added a bass on top, and the movement, the vibe, the feeling was there, and yeah.
This one feels like you stack stuff on top of stuff to get kind of that energy.
I think because I didn't have any like melody or lead part on it, so like I'll just keep adding stuff on it because nothing was clashing. I add until stuff starts to clash, and for this is, I don't know, it just worked out that all the different stuff that it's like luck when I'm just going through sounds and just like clicking on shit, and it's like, oh snap, we can use that, and I'm just like randomly going through it and clicking on it. So I really don't think about it, and it just kind of came together like that. But they're all just different vocals, different patterns, that all just came together.
Take me through the sample doesn't get cleared.
Sample doesn't get cleared. So
what are you thinking at that point?
For this one, actually, I wasn't too stressed because all they said they couldn't clear was the Max and Sam shit. Which to me, it's like, yeah, that's the heart and soul of the beat, but it's also, we could remake that if we wanted to. So the most important thing to me was the vocal. So we hit up the king of replays, our homie, DJ Khalil.
Shout out DJ Khalil.
Who once again, you know, he helped us a lot with those last couple of days, man, trying to clear stuff. So yeah, shout out to Khalil. So yeah, we just had him do that, and then.
Can you explain the technical part of that? So it's like, okay, you have a sample.
Yeah.
It doesn't get cleared.
It's not just it's a certain stem of the beat that couldn't get cleared. It's not the whole beat.
Right.
It's the individual sound that couldn't get cleared. So when that happens, if it's like the main sample of the song, it's different. When it's like that, when it's just that and it's like some trap drums, it's different. But for this, there's so many different layers of sounds that, I mean, let's hear how it sounds if I even took that out. You know what I mean? Probably not the same, but it would still have that feeling. The feeling is still there, you know what I mean? So I knew, like, for that one, like, Khalil would just kill that vocal, which is what he did, and yeah, he killed that like really like spot on. So I wasn't too worried about that. It's just like the old like 60s, 70s like soul samples with like really great vocal performances from like really great singers that you know it's tough to replay, but this was cool. And another thing, this one live too. When I was on tour, that's what I was thinking of. So I was making beats on tour because I was watching a live performance every night.
Yep.
And just trying to figure out what songs would be dope to do live. So this one, Bobby, was just like all in like that week span where I was doing like, it's kind of like some live performance stuff with like sample based stuff. So yeah, you can tell I kind of made that around the same time.
It's crazy that you were making this on tour.
Yeah.
It's like you feel that energy every night when you come out and you see the crowd and you see what beats they're reacting to more than others, or like what type of songs they're reacting to more than others.
That's it, man. I've said it before with you. I like study that shit. You know what I mean? When I'm in the crowd. So yeah, I'm like, when I hear that, I already know like I can tell like what kick pattern I should use. That if the kick pattern is too much, it's not gonna resonate live. But it's like this is so easy to just like it's a whole. You're not listening to one individual thing in the beat. It's like the overall beat gives a feeling. So it's something like the first thing when you press it live. Like what does the crowd do? So it's like Bobby, bah, and like for this, it's like you hear that it's gonna invoke some kind of like some kind of emotion. You know what I mean? So that's important to me.
Speaking of evoking emotions, what was your emotion like when you heard the Will got on this track?
Bro. See, that was so life-changing for me. Like, all these cool features we got on this project was so dope, but Will was like, come on, like, Will? Like, I don't even know how to put that into words, man. I grew up to Will, man. He was flexing, he was talking his shit, talking about the first rap Grammy. Like, I'm glad he said that stuff. Like, and it's, on my beat, it's like, what more can I ask for, man? I've been blessed to produce for Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, the whole Wu-Tang Clan.
For Will, you know what I mean? So it's like little stuff, bucket list stuff that just makes me happy, you know?
Did you have any idea when you were making this beat that Will was gonna rap, or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was gonna rap on
No idea, bro. No idea. Because, like I said, I just was making it without even thinking about anything, and then Logic heard it and then wanted to rap on it, and then that's where we kind of the hook came. Yeah. So then once the hook came, it was like, man, wouldn't Will sound crazy on this? And man, shout out to Will, he actually came through. It was amazing. Like, I didn't think we would get it, but we got it. It was a great moment for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I grew up Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince. Like, I still probably have the cassette somewhere in my mom's.
And it's just something I feel like that they would do, you know? Like, Jazzy Jeff would make a beat like this. So it's like, it kind of worked out that it was like Will got on it. It's like very catered to his style, I think, like back in the day.
For sure. Yeah. Have you and Jeff ever connected?
Bro, no, I'd love to though. Yeah. You know Jeff?
I met him through Revolution.
Man, what a legend. Yeah. What a legend. Yeah, people forget, man, or people don't know. He's so ill with it. Yeah. His beats, his scratching, his DJing performances. Like, he wasn't just, the funny guy that got thrown out the house and Fresh Prince. Like, this dude is a real artist.
Yeah. Musicianship. And he does like this whole a summit at his house.
Wow.
Where he brings all these different musicians. Damn, my boy puts that on. I should
I'd love to go, yeah. 100%.
Like Quest, like all these like different, like they just go for, I think for like a week, and they like cook.
Just cook.
And I think it's around, might be coming up.
All right, we'll talk about that.
Anything else from this beat that we missed?
I don't know why I just thought of it, but I just remember Logic saying the pump up the jam, pump up the volume. And what's really funny about that, maybe he'll talk about it too with you, but that's like his like pre-show, like that's the original, the pump it up, pump the jam. Like he like works out to that before the show.
Does he really?
And he gets hyped at that. That's why it's super fucking sick that he said that, because like we're really living the tour life. We're getting inspired by the tour life, you know what I mean? So it was cool that vibe kind of came out, because I guess subconsciously I was hearing that like 80s, 90s like house music. Like this isn't a house beat, but it kind of has that sound, if you know what I mean, that feeling. So it was cool that he thought of that too and used that influence, into that. But yeah, other than that, this was just a fun beat to just make, man. Just putting together different sounds and vocals and shit like that.
Yeah, when I heard this beat, I was like, man, I hope they shoot a music video for this.
That'd be fun.
I just want to see Logic and Will and Jaden come out and just having just fun on this type of song. Like, there's something about when I hear this, it just makes me smile. Like, it's just one of those, like, the beat and the hook and just kind of like the energy to it. It's just kind of like, it gives me vibes of that, like, that era of just like having fun.
Like an anthem vibe almost.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what this song really is. Like, I don't want people to take it it's a song. It's like an anthem song, man. It's not like a rap song. It's not whatever. It's not a certain type of song. It's just experience, like the feeling, the message of it, and just the overall just sound of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like when people dissect it so much. Just close your eyes and just feel it. You know what I mean? And that's what this song is for me. Just a feeling. Yeah. Wasn't too much overthinking.
Yeah, I saw some comment where somebody's like, "What's he saying about?" Because Bob has a line in there, I forget which one it is, something about lyrics, like, I don't care about lyrics. I think he says that, and I think people just read way too much.
People read way too much in that. It's like, I don't give a damn about lyrics. Let's just have fun for this song. Right. Like, don't be afraid to be different. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to spew no type of, like, whatever, like, preach or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, don't be afraid to be different. Like, enjoy this message. You know what I mean? That's what he meant by that. But people
are like, oh, he doesn't care about lyrics anymore. He used to be a lyricist. Now he doesn't care about lyrics. I'm like, you're missing the point.
Are you listening to the song? Like, what the song sounds like? You know what I mean? So it's just something that we wanted to do for fun. That's it. People were looking very deep into it, for sure.
No, I just want to address that because I was like,
no.
Bob's not saying he doesn't care about, Logic's not saying he doesn't care about lyrics. What he's saying is like, for this song, he's like, man, like, just feel the vibe. Like, it's just more of a feeling.
And
like
he's always said it, time and place. Like, his fans should know that, so they get it.
Yep. What do we got next?
Pardon my ego.